Hello, naturals. Hello, Go Natural English. I'm so excited to be here with you today for our daily YouTube live broadcast where you can improve your English fluency in just a short time by joining us every day at 12 noon EST, New York time. Today is a super special day because we have a guest here with us. We have Jennifer from English Outside the Box. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, Gabby. Hello, Go Naturals, or you call them Naturals. Hey, Naturals.
Yeah. I'm so excited to have you here. I love the idea of outside the box, which we'll talk about more today. And I know we have some things in common. Like, well, obviously, we both help people learn English. We also both have some ties to Brazil. I brought my mug here.
Oh my gosh, I should have been more prepared.
I don't know if you want to talk about where you are or what your tie to Brazil is. And let me actually ask the people in the chat box who are joining us live. I know there's a bunch of people who are from Brazil. If you want to tell us, I know you love telling us, where you're from. So Danny from Brazil, all right. And I want to say welcome. Yeah, welcome to everyone, whether you're from Brazil or from Turkey, like Meltem, or from Thailand, like Kanika. So good to see everyone here.
I see Congo too. There's all over France. This is awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah, and we have looking like a couple hundred of viewers right now with us, and it's growing. So
that chat is going crazy. It's like,
certainly we'll have people from all over the world. It's super exciting.
Awesome.
All right.
So yeah, I am Jennifer, and I'm from the U.S. So even though my last name is Nascimento, my biggest connection to Brazil is that I'm married to a Brazilian. So my husband's from Santos, São Paulo. So in between my travel journey, or kind of on my travel journey, I spent some time living in Santos and learned Portuguese and speak Portuguese now. And you were in Rio, though.
Well, I've been to Santos. I've been to several different cities in Brazil, and I've spent the most time in Rio. So therefore, my mug.
Yes.
But
awesome.
That's interesting. Are you currently in Brazil, or where are you now?
Oh, that would be so lovely to currently be in Brazil, especially because it's so hot there. I see all the pictures of our friends and our family, and they're just like on the beach, and I'm in my sweater, and it's so cold. But I'm currently in Arizona.
Okay.
So I'm in the desert, and I can't complain about the weather too much, though, because it was like 88 degrees yesterday.
Oh, that's nice.
And it is January, but the weather fluctuates. It goes up and down so much that it's 89 degrees in the day, and then it drops down to like 30 at night. So,
oh, wow. So you have to have a coat on at night.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. So I'm in New York City, and it's all the time now because it's February, the middle of winter, and it's been snowing and raining and then freezing rain. And it's crazy. So I see some people in the comments saying, hey, please say something in Portuguese. So, I mean, this channel is for people from all over the world. So I don't want to, leave people out who don't speak Portuguese. But I mean, if you want, we can say, hi, how are you? Like, oi, tudo bem, Jennifer?
Like, oi, gente, tudo bem? Yeah.
Just to prove
Jennifer. It. But we can also, other languages, I know a little bit of Arabic, like, Ana Almudarisa, Ismi Jennifer.
Marhaba.
Marhaba, yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
High five, virtual high five.
So we don't have to leave anybody out. I need to learn a little bit of Russian, though, because I always do my Portuguese and Arabic party tricks. And then I leave all my Russians out. So
maybe if there's someone in the chat right now who speaks Russian, you could give us like one word that we need to learn in Russian.
Yeah, but spell it out, in things.
Like Roman alphabet. Yeah, we don't read Russian.
Yeah. Do you speak French? Parlez-vous français? No, I just know phrases. Fluent in Portuguese. Yeah. So I'm pretty fluent in Portuguese. You, I imagine, are from your time there.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because I started learning Portuguese and other languages in the US. So I learned a little bit through college, but I think we're going to talk a little bit about that, because that was the traditional way of learning, like inside the box. I was inside the classroom and learning Spanish and then a little Portuguese in the classroom didn't really help me speak the language. So I didn't really speak. I didn't feel any fluency until I went and not just traveled, but also immersed myself in the community of Spanish speakers and Portuguese speakers where I was living in the US. So it went like this. First, I learned Spanish in the classroom, couldn't speak at all. Then I started immersing myself in the local community and just speaking with native speakers in the US. That started helping. And then third, traveling, so that I was completely, immersed in life in that foreign language. And that helped a lot. Yeah.
You would almost think like we planned exactly what we were going to talk about today, because you did ask me to like bring a tip to share with your learners. And it's like almost like you took it right out of my mouth. So I think that's great today, because it just, I know. And so it just is also like really connecting to all of like your naturals watching right now, that like what Gabby just said was the exact tip basically that I was bringing here, that I share with all of
Explain in your own words. Yeah.
So to kind of reiterate a little bit about what it means to learn outside the box and what English outside the box is and how it started, was I was teaching inside of a classroom and doing like the very traditional thing. And I was so bored of that. And I felt like, God, my students need more. And so when I was in this classroom, I started a blog, and I was blogging for my classroom to try to connect like my morning and my afternoon classes, and to try to connect my learners with other bloggers like outside of their class. And the most engaging and fun and effective lessons were the ones that I was doing on my blog, that I was doing outside of the classroom. So outside of the box is like getting out of that traditional textbook classroom style.
That's so interesting. And it's a really useful phrase in and of itself. What does it mean to be outside the box? Like, I don't know if this is a new saying for you guys in the chat box. Can you tell us, do you know this phrase, outside the box? Yes or no? Just type yes if you know it, type no if you don't know it. We're going to talk about it a little bit and how we use it, because maybe you've heard it, but maybe you're not sure how to use it. I know people say think outside the box. Let's think outside the box, or let's like do this in a way that's outside the box. So you explained a little bit, but like the box, what is the box? Are we talking about literally a box? No. Like,
no,
what is the box? I think you said already a little bit, but
a lot of no's,
but I think it's good to explain. Yeah. That's why I think it's good to explain a little bit, like in more detail. So the box would be the traditional classroom. You said you were a classroom teacher. I was too. And it is kind of like a box. You're inside a classroom.
And you're just
it is a box.
Stuck, and then you're stuck in the box of the curriculum, the box of the textbook, the box of the classroom, the box of the school. And so
yeah, it's probably the way you guys learned a lot too, like lectures, following your teacher, following the textbook, inside the classroom. That's inside the box.
I'm gonna type outside the box because somebody wrote bucks. Outside the box. So
box.
Yeah. Ulysses kind of made a comment here that the box, it's your environment. So yeah. So outside of the box, literally in a sense was like getting outside of the classroom. And then figuratively, it was a little bit more of outside of that traditional way. And so when you think outside the box, you're thinking outside of that conventional or traditional way, the way that you normally do, or you usually do, or society normally does.
Yeah, I like Ulysses' comment also, outside your comfort zone. That could be.
There is this really cool, it's like so cliche and probably all over the internet, but there's this really cool image I like that it has like a circle, and then it has like comfort zone inside the circle, and then it's like, you need to be here, and it like points outside.
Totally. Like that's where the magic happens. That's where
that's it.
Yeah. I love that. I love that so much. So outside the box would be, I think, what you're doing, what we're doing. So different methods of learning. So specifically for English learning, I mean, what would that include? Like, we're not in a classroom, so where are we? We're online. We're doing YouTube Live. I think that's kind of outside the box. What else do you do? I know you do a lot on Instagram and on other platforms. What do you do that's outside the box?
So I connect my students a lot with real. So my focus at English Outside the Box is focusing on everyday English. So English that's really going to help them with their everyday skills. And that's everyday skills, whether it's getting a job or passing the test or moving abroad or traveling. And so I do a lot daily mini lessons, videos, pictures on Instagram, connecting to vocabulary, grammar points. I really liked this, activity I did yesterday where I posted a picture of how gorgeous the day was. And I was like, imagine we were meeting on the street. Let's practice some small talk with the weather.
Oh,
So
cool.
I just try to engage them, with mini lessons. And there's always something that they can practice with on the Instagram account, like a question or a sentence or a way to practice.
Awesome.
We have YouTube. So they can watch this. You guys learning and watching this video now can basically be practicing your English anywhere. You can literally be anywhere in the world and doing anything and learning. I have a podcast. And so the podcast is another great way that's outside of the box. It's practicing listening. It's practicing vocabulary. There's like English lessons people can read, so that's kind of what I do on a daily, weekly basis.
Yeah, and it's fresh. It's outside the box because it's kind of more social. Like we're able to interact with people in the chat box. You're able to also interact with people on Instagram. It's more social, I think, than the old way of like learning in a classroom where your teacher says, "Shh, don't talk while I'm talking," right?
Or put your phone away.
Yeah, put your phone away. We say, get your phone out so you can watch our YouTube live.
Mm-hmm. Go leave your classroom right now and go watch our YouTube live. Just kidding, guys, don't do that.
Uh-oh, we're gonna get some people in trouble.
I know. And I do want to make a point though, because I know that you like have some online courses and stuff, and I do teach online courses, and we probably do teach a little bit more of like the traditional way of approaches and things. So that is helpful.
Yeah.
And if that's going to help a student reach a goal, I definitely think that's important.
Yeah.
But it's getting outside of the idea that that's the only way. So
right.
There's so many ways.
Well, and with technology, I feel like technology is faster than a lot of the textbooks. Like textbooks are not catching up as fast as we are with technology.
Can I share a story with you about a textbook in the classroom?
Sure, yeah.
So not to I'm not going to name any names of where it was at or anything, but this was 3.5, 4 years ago that I was at the school, and one of the lower intermediate grammar textbooks that was still being used daily had a lesson about technology. And I think it was practicing the future tense. And the beginning article for technology was about camera phones.
Ooh.
You can have a phone or a camera on your phone.
Wow. That's like, when did cameras start having phones? Like, I want to say, well, I'm going to get it wrong probably, but it was like 10 years ago at least, maybe 15 years ago.
It had to have been. So it was just like, oh my gosh. So we, you'd have to like teach this lesson, like, okay, now we're going to learn about camera phones. And everyone's like, this? Like my mini computer? Yeah. So.
Oh my goodness. That's a good story. I want to just take a minute to say to the chat box, thank you for all your positive comments. I really appreciate that you guys are motivated learners and that you have a lot of motivational things to share with each other. So I really appreciate all your kind and positive comments, both for each other and for Jennifer and for me. It's really nice to see those. I feel like I could talk with you, Jennifer, for a long time. We have so much in common, like a lot of the same viewpoints about helping people to become fluent in English. But before we wrap up, I wanted to ask if there was something specific that you wanted to share. I think you shared a lot already, but was there anything else that you wanted to share before we wrap up?
Yeah, so kind of connected to that one tip that you had said, like that I wanted to connect with. So basically what I want to share with everyone, and reiterating what you had already said, was you need to surround yourself with English. So if you're learning English and you're wanting to become fluent and you're wanting to practice, a little bit here and there is great, but reaching that fluency, you have to surround yourself as much as you can. And Gabby, you had mentioned that when you were living in the States or while you were in the States, you tried to learn languages and you just didn't connect with it until you like got into it and submersed yourself into it. So that's why I said it was so weird that we like planned this lesson almost, but we didn't, was because that's the tip that I brought, that find a way to everyone watching. So you want to learn English. So find a way to connect yourself with English throughout the entire day. So when you wake up, turn on a podcast, listen to that podcast as you walk to the bathroom and brush your teeth and get in the shower. When you read a news article, read a book, read a passage, a magazine, watch YouTube live lessons on the bus, on your way to work or school. Follow social media accounts, turn your phone settings on in English. Like just think about every single thing you can do in English and connect yourself as much as you can.
I love that. Now, I want to ask a question about your courses. Are they all in English or do you have some in Portuguese for the Brazilians watching out there?
So I have Pronúncia de Inglês para Nativos de, Brasileiro,
So you do have a course specifically for Brazilians.
Yeah, so I have a Portuguese course, a pronunciation course specifically for Portuguese speakers. So it focuses on the common mistakes that they make and all of that. I'm in the middle of launching like a grammar course. I have a grammar course happening right now. That's for anybody. I don't want to leave out everybody else. It's not just the Brazilians. So that's what I'm doing. And then the podcast, may I say the name of the podcast?
Yeah, sure. Well, where do you want people to find you? What's your podcast?
So you guys can find me on my website, EnglishOutsideTheBox.com. And on the top of that, there's a link for the podcast, but not to confuse everybody, but the podcast is actually called English Across the Pond.
Oh, that's another good phrase.
Across the pond. So who knows what across the pond means? You get extra bonus points today if you type the definition in the chat.
I'll type what you said. Across the pond. Yes.
Yeah.
I see a lot of good comments. A lot of people like your Portuguese. That's so cute.
It's funny when like, oh, your Portuguese is so cute. And then when they say like, oh, how cute, I'm like, hey,
is that a good thing?
Is that a good thing? Is it, so anyways.
Yes, outsidethebox.com. Merdad, you got that right. You just want to put a .com, right? So English.
In English.
Outsidethebox.com. Is that right? EnglishOutsideTheBox.com?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, how cute. I love you, Gabby. Oh.
Actually, I love everyone who is here. I love your motivation. I love this community that we have. I love that I can just come on YouTube Live with Jennifer and introduce you to another great teacher, and we're building our community, and there's hundreds of people watching, and I feel so lucky. Yeah, on a Sunday, too. So
I know. Thanks for learning with us on this Sunday.
Yeah, thanks for spending time with us, and thank you, Jennifer, also for joining us. This is really a pleasure to have you here.
It was such my pleasure joining you. Thanks for having me. Everyone watching, thanks for listening to me. The non-Portuguese speakers, thanks for listening to me speak in Portuguese.
Yes.
And I hope I impressed you with my one phrase of Arabic.
I'm impressed. I'm totally impressed.
Yeah.
And just a reminder, if you guys are new here, make sure that you join the Go Natural English email group at gonaturalenglish.com. So I'll see you all here tomorrow at the same time. Have an awesome day. Bye, guys. Bye, Naturals.
Thank you.
Bye.